What's going on, everyone? My name's Mark and this is Mako Reselling. In today's video, I've got another what sold for you. I'm going to let you know items that have sold from my eBay store. Now this is going to cover approximately the second week of November. I'll let you know what I paid, what it sold for, and any other useful information that hopefully you can use when you're out thrifting. As always, go ahead, like, subscribe, comment. Really appreciate it when you do that. Thanks for your time. Let's get started. So these Christian Dior men's dress pants, really nice pair of pants here. Gray, they've got a nice plaid pattern on them. Can't really recall the size on these, but they look, probably like a 30 inseam or something. Anyhow, these took about 2 months to sell. Got them at Goodwill for $4.99. Sold them or listed them out for $45, sent an offer for $40, and the person accepted. Sold these vintage Polo Ralph Lauren men's cream chino pants. These sold for $33. They sold very quickly. They sold in just a couple weeks. Now this model here, this is the Phillip pant. And I didn't know these were vintage because if you do look on the tag there, you can see that made in Mexico, and that or made in USA is typically almost all the time going to be vintage with Polo Ralph Lauren. These were $4.99 buy cost, and I had tons of views, tons of watchers. Definitely an item I would suggest getting, and it's going to move quick. Sold this LL Bean men's windbreaker hooded jacket here. Nice jacket, LL Bean outerwear. Definitely good to be on the lookout for. This was $6.99. It's got a number of good things happening for it. It's Gore-Tex. It's hooded. I think it's a cool color. It's an XL. This sold for $48, full asking price. Took about 2 to 3 weeks to sell, and it was $6.99 buy cost. Very hot item right here. Polo Ralph Lauren men's vintage chino pants. These are navy blue. They're a great size, 33, 34. Just listed these out yesterday. They sold today. Listed them at $37 and took an offer for $33. They were $4.99 at Goodwill. So an awesome quick flip here. Sold this Dickies men's canvas jacket here. Nice jacket. It sold for $35. Took about 4 to 5 months to sell. I believe I got this at the bin, so it probably would have been like about $5, somewhere around there. If not, maybe Goodwill retail I got this. It would have been $6.99 there, but I'm pretty sure I got this one at the bins. Anyhow, it's the time of year for it, and good to see it go. Sold this John Varvatos men's suit vest. This took about a month to sell. It was $4.99 at Goodwill. Listed it at $35. Took an offer at $30. Kind of glad to see this one go. Suit vest can take a while, and not everyone wears them. Sold this Gap men's quilted vest. Nice item here. Full zip. Got pockets. This took about 3 months to sell. It sold for $28.50. And I got it at Goodwill for $6.99. Not sure I would buy this again, even though I do think it's a nice item. I would wear it personally myself, but the resale value just isn't quite there. The margins, they're okay. Probably like a $17 profit on this, maybe $16. But if it had sold like low 30s, that definitely would make it worth it. And of course, quicker. It took about 3 months to sell. Sold this Brooks Brothers men's pinpoint Oxford. This took about 2 months to sell. Now this does have some damage on it. Can't really see it in the picture here. So I did lower the price on this substantially. Well, not really too substantially, but down to, I think, like $24. Someone sent an offer for $20 and I accepted. Normally I sell these about $30, $27, somewhere in that range. If it's really big French cuffs, it's going to go like $32 maybe. But this was $4.99 at Goodwill, and glad to see this one move. I think it took about 2 months to sell. Sold this Carbon to Cobalt men's button-down shirt here, casual shirt. It is flannel lined, but it's very thin flannel, so I don't think it really helps it. that much. Now, Carbon to Cobalt is really a brand I have stopped buying. It just does not sell like it used to. And this was $4.99. I listed it out at, I think, $25 to start, went down to $22. Took an offer for $17 yesterday. And this took about 2 months to sell. So even at a low price, it took quite a while. Definitely makes me a little bit sad because I do like this brand. It just doesn't resell well. Sold these Talbots women's corduroy bootcut pants. Got these at the bins, so probably about $1.50, $2. And they took a while. They took about 5 to 6 months to sell. They sold for $13. Got an offer for $13 and accepted. Sold this Columbia men's ski jacket. This sold for $35 on an offer. Got it at Goodwill for $6.99 and sold in just about 3 weeks, probably less than that, probably closer to 2. This was a decent size. It's an XL. It's a nice color block. I could have probably held out for more on this one, but went ahead and just took the profit. Sold this Majestic Filatures woman's vest. Now, this item, this brand is somewhat new to me, but it is a good brand to be on the lookout for certain things. This sold for $35. It sold very quickly. The material feels super soft. This sold in just about a week. It was $5.99, so a nice quick profit here. Something to be on the lookout for with this brand, especially, you know, bigger pieces like this. Sold these Nuitags Lee Comfort pants. Now, this is a very big size, 46-30. I know a lot of people would pass on something like this, but these were $4.99. I listed them at $26. They sold for $23. So these not so great brands, when they're Nuitags, they can get you a little bit of money. This sold very quickly. It sold in just about, 2 weeks, probably less than that. And the one other thing I would say is that it could be the case that I might have to hold these to get that, to find the person that wants this item in that size. But I do think there is a little bit of money in these, but these bigger sizes, they can take a while. Sold these Wrangler camo cargo pants. I got these at the bins about 6 months ago. This is the type of thing you kind of expect to find there at the bins. But this thing has a number of pretty good things going for it. It's, cargo, it's camo. It's a pretty good size from what I recall here. So this would have been about a $2 to $3 buy cost. It sold for $20 and it took about 6 months to sell. So it did take some time, but pants, got to get the waist, got to get the inseam to match to someone. Sold these women's oat jeans here. This I had listed out at like $30. Sent an offer to someone for $25. They countered at $20. I countered back at $23. Definitely felt like I undersold this one, but I did get this at the bins, so it was just like a couple bucks. Normally, these go around $30, so could have held out. This one took about 4 months to sell, and glad to see it go. Sold this Brooks Brothers merino wool sweater. It is washable merino wool, which I do think makes it more convenient for men. Anyhow, this took a couple months to sell. I think I got this sometime like in the heat of the summer, and it sold for $25. Got this at Goodwill for $4.99. And I'll say about merino wool, I tend to skip it in the stores a lot because I'm just worried about a hole or some sort of damage. A lot of times you can't see it, and it's really the payoff's just not there for these. But this worked out pretty well for this one. Sold these Nuitags Lauren Conrad women's wide leg chino pants. Nice blue color here. Not really a winter color, but that's okay. Anyhow, these were $4.99 at Goodwill. I listed them at $25. Sent an offer to someone for $23. She accepted, and these took about 3 weeks to sell, so a pretty quick flip here. Sold this North Face women's jacket here. Got this about 2 months ago, so it took about 2 months to sell. This sold for $38. I believe that was full asking price. Someone may have sent an offer. I just can't remember. Nice jacket. It's quilted. This is the Cara Luna model. Not too familiar with all the North Face models, but this one I think is good enough and worth the cost. It was a $6.99 buy price. Sold these Ariat men's jeans for $35. I sent an offer to someone and they countered back at $35. I accepted. This was a $6.99 buy cost, so some decent profit there, like $22 or so. This is the Ariat, the M7 Rocker, which I think is, you know, decent. It's not the greatest, but it's not the worst. It's not like the slim fit or anything. Anyhow, these took about, I want to say about 2 months to sell, if that. Sold these Indigo Rain jeans for $10. These are women's jeans. Got these at the bins for just a couple bucks. This is an example of something not to flip. These, I'm almost positive I was going to look them up. They got buried in my bin and I just forgot to do it. Ended up buying them. They took about 6 months to sell, so glad to see these things gone. Sold this Ariat men's quarter zip. Got this at Goodwill for $4.99 and sent an offer to someone. I believe I had it at $25. I sent an offer to $22. They countered at $19 and I accepted. These just don't go for much. These Ariat quarter zips, this is pretty, it's kind of flimsy. The more bigger jackets, those are the ones you definitely want to be out on the lookout for. Anyhow, this took about 6 weeks to sell. Sold these Brooks Brothers Madison men's wool dress pants. Nice dark gray charcoal color here. Can never quite get the color right on a lot of these dress pants. Anyhow, this sold pretty quick. This sold in just about 2 weeks. It sold for $27. I can't remember if I sent an offer on this. I'm pretty sure I listed it at $30 and sent someone an offer for $27. Buy cost was $4.99. Overall, a nice quick flip here. And it's the time of year definitely to be selling these. Sold these Duluth Trading men's plaid button-down shirts. These are short sleeve. Now, this was not a very smart buy. Each of these were $4.99 at Goodwill, and they each sold for $13. Someone reached out to me, and we struck a deal. You know, he said, what was the best you could do? And I was more than happy to sell each of these to $13. I'm going to give him a shipping discount as well. These took forever. I think I got these in like January or February of this year. And so that's what, about 10 months. Definitely not something that I would pick up again. Maybe if it was cheap enough and I was going to bundle, I would do that. But I was pretty lucky that this guy happened to find both of these and they're the same size, 3XL, and he wanted to run with it. Sold these Levi's vintage 550 blue jeans, and these are from 1998. I was able to discern that from the tag. Got these at Goodwill for $6.99. They took about 2 to 3 weeks to sell. It was a repeat buyer who bought these. I listed about for low 30s, and they sold, or the person, I sent an offer, I think, for like $27, $28, and the person accepted. Anyhow, in terms of how I knew these were vintage, you know, obviously open them up, look at the tag. You can see the paper tag there. It doesn't say made in America, but, you know, you can open up the back. You can see that 07 98 right there, hopefully. Hopefully it's not too blurry. And that let me know what the date is on these. Anyhow, pretty good flip overall.